Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. Yeah. Before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping, don't you know? No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Vote no to Republicans. Vote no to Democrats. Vote yes to reparations. Vote the black agenda for reparations by boycotting the 2024 elections, corporations, and the U.S. military. Let our non-vote count as our collective vote. It's all we have as people. Let our country for more than 400 years know that we are more than consumers and beasts of burden to be used and then discarded. Remind Kamala Harris and Donald Trump that we are not immigrants that voluntarily came to the U.S., no matter how they try to rewrite history. We are ADOS, the American descendants of slaves.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. This is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we're coming to get our check.
A significant movement is gaining momentum in the United States, focusing on a critical issue. African Americans are committed to casting their votes exclusively for the Democratic candidate nominated for the U.S. presidential election who pledges to sign an executive order for reparations within the first week of taking office, preferably no later than the week of January 6, 2025. Should the nominated Democratic candidate fail to commit to reparations, African Americans are prepared to collectively abstain from voting in the 2024 presidential elections, for those who choose to participate. It is imperative to emphasize that African Americans will not support any candidate who refuses to endorse an executive order for reparations by January 2025. If the demand for reparations is ignored or if Congress rescinds the Democratic executive order for reparations, African Americans will initiate further mass boycotts targeting corporations and the U.S. military. To comprehend the underlying reasons behind this movement, we strongly recommend watching a video entitled Reparations. Should African Americans boycott the 2024 elections in return for their vote? This video provides an accurate depiction of African American history, tracing it from the post-slavery era to the present day. It vividly illustrates how both Republicans and Democrats have repeatedly collaborated to make promises to African Americans during election campaigns, only to renege on those promises once they secured the African American vote. In response to this systemic exploitation, and the rise of normalized white supremacy, African Americans are embarking on this movement. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to learn more about the African American reparations movement, and to see more videos about African and African diaspora geopolitics, politics, news, history and religion.